The host has started broadcasting the meeting on YouTube.
Welcome to the world of ability. My name is Sue Roskoff, and we've got some wonderful friends joining us here today. First, before we get completely rolling in, I need to bring Emily in to do some housekeeping for us, actually. So, Emily, over to you.
Welcome everybody to another World of Ability. That was started a few years ago, and on the 30th anniversary of the passage of the ADA. But also I'd like to thank a few people here. Marcus Hard of Transforming Media, Chase Joyne of the Disability Channel, Zach Clayton of the PAC Channel, and Lawrence Wingate of Wingate Studios for replaying our shows on our platforms. And so, as Sue said, we have some great people today. I think our first person I'm bringing here is Tim, who we met a few years ago, working with another nonprofit. And so, Tim, you unmute here and say a little bit about who you are and the show that you do and things like that.
Well, hello. We are here in Wisconsin. In fact, the producers here are all in Madison, Wisconsin, and Milwaukee. I do a show that kind of explores people getting out on their own, much like a lot of the people on this podcast are all kind of independent business owners. So I encourage that on my show. I'm at this moment trying to start businesses. I have like 3 of them right now. I'm trying to get to 100 businesses altogether. The way I do that is with a business model. I look at the businesses that are easiest to start and the lowest cost. I think a lot of people fail when they start a business because maybe they're asked to invest a lot of money and they don't have the training. So, so I encourage people to do a critical thinking when they look at which business to start. How much does it cost to start? What is the marketing like? Is can you do the marketing? Because if you have a business and you can't sell, you can't market, then you might have a great idea. Maybe you have great marketing, you don't have a product. Well, I think the marketing is more important than the product, possibly. If it's good marketing, you can sell just about anything. So my show, I'll repeat myself, lets people know that there are some lucrative businesses out there, and I'd like to help them pick out something that will make them a lot of money. And I love certain subjects, but I think I love money more. So let's try and be creative with what we pick. Do we love doing it? Does it make money? So again, I'd like to start about 100 of them. If I could personally create some jobs here where I live eventually. So I'll share that. I'll share just about anything with my podcast show listeners. They just have to get on. Right now, I got about 7,000 franchises that I can show, and there might be 60,000 of them all together. I don't know, but there's at least 7,000 ideas there. So, so that we can diversify maybe. So that's, and my 3 businesses right now are air cleaning, indoor air testing and cleaning, and advertising, local advertising. And I'm not sure, I have another one, I can't recall. So I'll get it back to our host here.
Tim, can you let everybody know what the name of your show is?
Oh, of course, yeah. It's a blue collar crypto.
Okay.
It's on at 4 and 6 Central Time. Blue Collar Crypto. Yep.
4 and 6 on Sundays, correct?
Yes. Sundays. Tomorrow. Yep.
Good. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here with World of Ability, Tim. Always enjoy having a chance to catch up with you. We do have a couple more guests that are here as well, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in Cheryl. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and give us an introduction to Cheryl. We're so glad to have you joining us here today. If you can tell us a little bit of who you are and your background, I would love to hear more.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. Happy to discover this morning, and I was able to jump on this afternoon. I have been in the schools. I've taught and raised 5 kids, and now I'm teaching financial literacy or education, which brings financial literacy. And I have worked with a lot of different disabilities in the schools and in my life and family. And so I have a wonderful network of people who can help business owners. So one of the things we do is we educate. Another thing we do is to help people go from employee or not employed to entrepreneur. So we help them walk that process. We walk them along the money milestones. We have 7 money milestones, and we take people by the hand, find out where they are and where they want to go. And because of my background with disabilities, I'm able to teach people in the way that they learn, which is very important to me. So I'm happy to share my contacts. I'm happy to share my information, whatever I can do to make the world a better place. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cheryl. It's been lovely getting to know you. I know you're new to our crew here, and we're so glad you're here. And hopefully, you're welcome to come back anytime here as well. So thank you for being with us here today. And actually, next, I think I'm going to go ahead and bring Marianne in, and then if you want to introduce our final guest here as well, I think that would be wonderful. So Marianne, come on in and join us.
Well, aloha. Aloha means hello, and aloha means goodbye. I'm Marianne Ambrose. I go by Marianne of Waikiki. I'm the author of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 folk manus animal character puppets. My books are written for animation movies with sign language characters, and soundtrack by Lucy and the Perfect Wave, our local Hawaiian artist on the island of Oahu. Lucy's angelic voice and crystal bowls take you away on a journey with Noah, the hard-of-hearing whale, who is coming down on a Hawaiian vacation and is recruited by a sea turtle called the General of the New Earth Army to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch after he rehabilitates and loses his hearing from being in a boating accident. It's a beautiful story. It's for ocean cleanup. The second book is Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, featuring Harry the hard-of-hearing rabbit, Chelsea the courageous sign language chicken, and Eve the finger-spelling bumblebee, where Harry learns to stand in his power with these bullies who didn't know sign language, and they all want to be a big ohana, which means family, and they have a first birthday luau, which we celebrate in Hawaii, and it's a beautiful story around Magic Island and Rabbit Island. And Pono the Hawaiian Polo Pony, it's polo season in Hawaii, and it features a deaf rider on a polo horse, and we introduce all the beautiful horses from all the different islands with the different floral leis representing each island in different colors and smells and scents. It's a beautiful story. We're making it half of a story and half of a coloring book to meet Amazon's expectations, which is a learning process as an author for me. So it's been great fun to work with my Fiverr team, and I'm currently in San Carlos, Mexico. My co-writer Suzanne Sim from Waikiki is in Guadalajara. So we are your expats over here working and looking forward to translating the books into 30 different languages with a DeepL app that I was introduced by Helpopedia, Maury, and Phil. So we have great networking here. It's been a great journey throughout the pandemic where I was introduced to Happy Neighborhood Projects. That's where I met everybody. I was a co-host on HNP. I was a sign language interpreter for the Ability Group on HNP. And now I'm a weekly guest here on the podcast, the Today Show, the Disability Channel, sponsored by Lawrence Wingate, Wingate Studios, Transform U Media, Canada. So thank you to all the sponsors that allowing us to share all these different stories, artists, talents, what we're doing to heal the world. And I want to introduce a special guest that I met, Leanne Phillips. I met her probably a decade ago through Marsha Joyner. The late Marsha Joyner was the president of the Chamber of Commerce with Persons with Disabilities in Honolulu, Hawaii. She also had a television YouTube show, and she brought me out to do sign language interpretation. I met Leanne doing crystal bowls at several events, especially at the Unity Church of Hawaii. And it's just a great story of what we're doing to heal the planet and heal the world. And I talk about hearing loss. That's my background. And we have 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss right now. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. I got to do many events at the around the islands with singing and signing with the Air Force Band, the Army. We did a show with the characters. It was great, lots of fun, and that's what our Hauana is. We want to continue to support, especially for Maui Strong and Lahaina. So next month, we'll be sending some books for fundraising to help support and help our youth stay strong and educated during this time of change. And we just want to lift our vibrations to our Hana and family everywhere worldwide. And so again, I'd like to introduce you to a very special guest healing artist, Leanne Phillips. So Leanne, please join us and share the aloha.
Oh, aloha, aloha, everybody. And I really would like to hear more about the people who are struggling to hear, because sound is actually something that can be a really profound tool for people who can't hear when they can feel the sound through their skin. Can you just share with me, Marianne? What are you doing to help these folks? I heard the sound. I heard that you talk about sign language, but I'd like to know a little bit more. See if maybe there's something, that can help them.
33 years ago, Leanne, I was a case manager with the deaf back in Grand Rapids, Michigan, from Wisconsin, where Sue and Kurt are. And I did that for several years. And President Bush signed the American Disabilities Act at that time for the ADA. And through my journey to Hawaii, I was in an auto accident and lost some of my hearing on my left side. And I met Scott, who was deaf, who lost his hearing at age 7 and ended up interpreting for him for over a decade. And he left prior to the pandemic, and he just became certified as a veterinary assistant. So hearing loss can happen at any time. We're born into this world into diapers, and we need basic communication signs such as I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, change my diaper, mommy and daddy, and which gets developed. And children, once they start speaking, they stop signing. So it's for all ages of the heart. And through the pandemic, we found out what it was like to have social spatial distancing. So right there, 6 feet apart, everybody's got a hearing loss now, don't you? So it's a learning experience for everybody. And some things can come and go. There's different types of hearing loss that can be treated. You can have ringing in the ears. We have millions of people, military, receiving veterinary or veteran assistant for tinnitus and ringing in the ear. So they're recognizing some of these more challenges with hearing loss. And not just having a hearing aid, but you can really get to some of the root of the problem with me. I was in an auto accident, so everything was up from my neck above. I had vertigo, and I met Dr. Joe Brewer at the Pan Am building in Honolulu, who did upper circle on me, which was light work compared to other chiropractors. And it was just an amazing feeling sensation to let that feeling of loss go. The anxiety of the ringing in the ears is going to come back and forth. It's also about changing your diet. Sugar, salt, nicotine, caffeine, all those affect ringing in the ears. Just having a lot of acupuncture and just becoming a Reiki master too, and accepting that I turned 56 this day, so my body is changing, and I'm grateful that I can share these stories and got to travel and sail, and my sailing instructors were chiropractors and acupuncture, so I really had it kind of going on in Honolulu. I met some great healers and getting to share the stories. So again, people are coming back, and upper cervical is an amazing treatment and sound therapy. And our deaf community can feel vibrations, and you want to raise your vibration. So even I can feel it with your crystal bowls. I listen to YouTube and the ultimate sound bath, and I can feel just a shift in my ears, and different frequencies can eliminate tinnitus and open up my inner ear canals when they feel plugged. So it's just amazing, more information that I have learned through my journey. And we want to help as many people in the world with these healing benefits and healing stones and healing crystals, opening up your chakras, opening up your mind and your heart to receive the information, and shifting, the negative energy and blocks out. So I hope that kind of answers a little bit there, but that's what I can share with you. And everybody's different, to being open and receiving. People just, want their hearing back. And the solution is, sign language is a solution, and you're never too old to learn it. And it's being used in the schools. And that's where the Acts of Kindness series program is, with the books, educational books and stories and coloring books about ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, climate change, and learning the fingerspelling alphabet. Because you know what, later in life, we may be in those diapers again, asking a nurse to help us out that I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, change my diapers again. So that's kind of what we're, talking about hearing loss here. And we thank everybody for being of service. And again, we are holding in prayer the island of Maui, our Lahaina Ohana, and Maui Strong. So if anybody's listening, there's different fundraising events that you can do. I know local businesses on the island are opening up their business to receive canned goods, any type of provisions, etc. So Maui Strong it is. And again, Leanne, let's take it away. Let's find out a little bit more about your crystal bowls. And do you really hear sound? Do you really hear sound in the woods? You tell us a little bit more about that, Leanne.
Also wanted before, not to interrupt here, but we do have Leon who's on here.
Okay, great.
Wanted to bring him in too.
Okay.
All right.
Super. Thank you. So I just wanted to share, Marianne, a traditional Tibetan remedy for tinnitus is working with the tingshas. And tingshas are not expensive. They're maybe $20 or $30 for a set, but that actually has been proven in the Tibetan healing modality to cure tinnitus. So, and the tingshas are the ones that kind of go, they're two metal discs and they hang by a string, and you just gently ting them together. So, you might want to incorporate that. I'm basically, my passion is education, because I feel like the more we understand the nature of reality, the easier it is for us to be able to evolve. So I'm not really into the mindfulness movement so much as evolution, so that we can literally keep raising our vibration, our frequency, which is a real thing, right? So the crystal bowls, Sue, what would you like us to share? Because I've worked with people with cancer, kids. I want to be of the most service today. So what would you like to talk about?
Children, because we have Leanne McLaughlin here joining us, who brings filters to 35 countries worldwide to schools and clinics. So we would love to learn more. He's also working with Dr. Emoto in regards to the crystals and this love and hate. And we'll like to get into a little bit more conversation with that a little bit later. But if you could highlight children today, that would be great.
Okay, super. So children, for the first couple years of their life, are mostly in what we call the delta brain state. So they're mostly sleeping. And once they get to the age of 2 up to about 7, they're mostly in what we call a theta brain state, which means that they're not really aware of the external world as much, but their internal world is what feels real. So if you think about a dream, when you're dreaming, if you're really in a dream, then you're not really thinking about, the dog barking down the street, or, you're not feeling the external world. Your world internal is so real. That's pretty much it. And this is why children can easily pick up the patterns and the stress or the trauma of their parents, because they're in the environment of their parents, and yet they're not really conscious of what's going on, but energetically they're absorbing it. And then from the age of 7 to 12, this is in general, okay, these are just generalities, but from that age, once they get to the age 12, then they're mostly in an alpha brain state. And, all of us on the call, we're never in just one brain state. Our brain cells cluster. So we can have a little alpha going on, a little theta, a little gamma. But once you get to age 12, you're kind of set until you start doing whatever work you want to do. So I find with children, it's really, you have to be mindful when you work with kids. I've done quite a few sound healing circles with children where I'm placing the bowls on them and they're feeling the vibration, but they're also hearing the sound. And this might sound kind of nutty, but a lot of them started having past life flashes and were remembering when they died in their last life, because they couldn't, you can't process a trauma when you're dying, because you're having that experience. You have to do it afterwards. So, I had one young girl say, I feel like I have a knife. I see a knife in my belly. Why do I feel this pain in my belly? And I've got the parents sitting on the back going, what are you doing to my kids? And I'm like, oh God. So they're remembering this stuff and they're needing to remember it to let it go. So what I recommend for kids, because we're living in a real tender time. So sounds that really help kids, if you just, is in the Native American tradition, particularly in the Dene or Lakota. Dene is is how the Navajo call themselves. So if is very cleansing. So, and what I recommend for kids as well is that they put their hands behind their ears like this, and they hear themselves. A lot of children aren't heard, right? They're told to be quiet or keep your voice down. But if you can just play with a kid and ask them to cup their ears so they can actually hear what they sound like, I find that's very powerful, that they can hear their voice. And then you can ask them as they're saying their name, you can just say, hi, my name is, right? And for them to also feel their heart as they're saying it. So for kids in particular, there's a connection between the brain and the heart. And the quartz crystal singing bowls I like to work with kids the most are the ones that are crystalline, but also have a metal added to it. So if it's either gold, silver, titanium, rainbow titanium, it seems to help mitigate any kind of stress, ADD, The other thing I recommend for kids is something called lotus powder, LOTUS. So, Tim, I've noticed with your video, the sun is kind of playing with you. I don't know if you folks noticed, but the sun was doing a little bit of blinking and a little bit of things going on. So, hi. So, there are frequencies emanating from the sun, the radiation, the cosmic rays, and that really affect children, actually people under 25 and people over 65. So if you have a kid that's agitated, and this is all connected to sound. So, but I would recommend an organic lotus powder and just put a pinch in their yogurt or their fruit, and it will help with any agitation that you can't really explain. It's huge. The other thing that's great for kids, because they tend to be more sensitive, are tuning forks. And the tuning forks with the balls on the end. So, Marianne, you were talking about the solfeggio frequencies. Those tuning forks usually are just straight. You know, they're straight, they don't have balls. But what the balls do is they create a vibration. So if a kid is in their feet, literally in their feet, they're in their body. Same with us adults. So for kids, it's great if they can go barefoot for at least 15 minutes a day. That will eradicate all free radicals in the body, all free radicals for a day. So, and the tuning fork allows them to actually feel their physical body. So I really like the feet because you've got all the organs represented, and kids often fall, trip, scrape their knees. If they're in their body, in their feet, they're going to have way less of that stuff happening. And then we talked about, well, we didn't talk about, I wanted to talk about a prayer called the Miracle Prayer, or the Ana B'Koach. And that's a prayer that I really like to, there's a free download on Tybro, Tybro. And that's an incredible tool where you can just play it very low in the background, download it onto your computer. You don't even have to hear it, but the frequency will go out and it will mitigate some of what we call the inverse Sephirotic energy. So, so many kids are dealing with a lot of toxins. And I'll just throw this out. I know it's controversial, but I've seen the research. There's not one vaccine that doesn't have a heavy metal in it, not one. So I would encourage and invite parents to just be open to doing the research to find out what is actually in these shots, because the heavy metals are particularly dangerous for children. So, and now that we're putting this mRNA technology into our meats, they're now in our meats as of April. So even if you didn't take a shot, if you're eating meat, you're getting that technology. And the research is very clear about what that technology does. And I'll leave it at that. But I'm very protective of children, that a lot of times they don't need things that we say they need. So the other thing, and I'll leave it at this for the kids, as far as sound, if you can think about the children that excel and the ones that struggle a bit, the brain, we have what is called the left hemisphere and we have the right hemisphere. And what connects the hemisphere is called the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is a network. It's a network of neural patterns that connect. So the more connection you have with these two hemispheres, the more children can open up the box, be creative, come up with solutions that aren't either or, and just see that life has a tremendous more to offer than maybe what we were told. and they can start to critically think for themselves. For me, it's all about being able to think, critically think. So what they can do to increase these is probably the best thing is to sing. So when you sing, you activate not just the right or the Gestalt hemisphere of the brain, but you activate both. Music activates both. So singing, get kids to sing. And if you can get them to sing and dance and move, then you have that many more neurons firing. And to me, there's nothing more beautiful than a really happy kid, running around out in nature, singing, dancing, being barefoot, not glued to their cell phone at the age of 2. So yeah, those are things that I'd love to see, that I really have seen over the years help kids.
Well, thank you for sharing, Leanne. And wow, you had some amazing points that I'm sure Leon McLaughlin would love to share about his fundraising for the Navajo Hopi Indian tribe. He's got an event coming up in Sedona, Arizona in September. He's being recognized by the United Nations and Bill Gates Foundation, a 5th year in a row for Clean Water Foundation. So Leanne, are you still with us here? Would you like to speak, Leanne, and tell us what you're up to as well, and share what Leanne has talked about? And Dr. Emoto?
Yes, thank you very much for having me. And yeah, I think what she was just saying, Leanne, is correct, because I know we did a rain dance with the children of the Hopi tribe last year, and the skies were blue. It was 85 degrees. They did a rain dance for a half an hour, and it actually started raining. It was epic, and it was the children doing this rain dance. So tradition is amazing. And we were just like, unbelievable. It was epic to see this rain dance, and it actually started raining, and we have it on film. That's the good part about it. So yeah, I think dancing, singing, as you know, we do an inauguration celebration for every water fundraiser that we have, and it involved music. That's why the fundraiser we're having September the 16th and 17th in Sedona, which is a very spiritual place also, will have music. And it was funny that she was talking about Tibet, because we have a entertainer from Tibet, Lodo, who will be performing and playing the horn and doing Tibetan songs to team up with the Hopi. And he's coming in to perform, and he's a good friend of the Dalai Lama. So I think to have all that in, along with Dr. Emoto from Japan, which is the hidden messages of water, that talks about talking water, we love you, water, we're sorry, water is sacred, the love, the gratitude. I think to have all that in the mix, what we're doing, along with what the Hopi is doing and the Navajo is doing, is unbelievable. And to get back to like even what you're doing with the water flow, the whale, and us flow, that's what the name of the concert is, that we're having the fundraiser for love of water. I think that's amazing. We've done, and to get to Hawaii, we've done fundraisers there for Africa with a group out of Maui, the Mango Foundation. And we did a fundraiser with those guys to get water units to South Africa. And I think what we're going to do, if anyone know any schools or school teachers or principals in Maui, because as you know, Mariana, you are Mariana Waikiki. Even when I met you in Hawaii, I mean, you are a big part of Hawaii, like a iconic figure. That's you. So if anyone knows any school teachers or principals, we would donate a water unit to that school for the kids to have clean, fresh drinking water. Because I know Maui is really like, it's devastated. I mean, to lose Front Street, the whole town, like you said, just been wiped out, we would definitely donate a water unit to one of the schools, or two, for the children to have clean water and to teach them about water and let them be goodwill ambassadors because they are devastated. So if anybody's listening to us and they have any connections to any of the Maui schools, get in contact with us. You can reach us at www.cleanwaterfoundationwa.org. If you'd like to donate a water unit, we'll donate a water unit. If you want to match that, you can. It's a tax write-off. $150 can provide a water unit for children in those schools, and you don't have to change the filters to after 10,000 gallons of water. So we would definitely donate a water unit or two. And if anybody want to match us, they can, and they can go to the website and get a tax write-off. But if you know any schools or any principals or any teachers where we can donate that water unit, please contact us, and that's the website.
That's great. Thank you.
And the website again, someone just asked to say it again, is www.cleanwaterfoundationwa.org. So that's www.cleanwaterfoundationwa.org. That's it. Whoever wrote that. Yep. Sue put it out there. So yeah, we'll donate a water unit to the school, maybe 2 water units, but definitely 1. And we'll try to do some fundraising to get some other water units there. And if anybody know any teachers, principals, contact us so we can make that donation to Maui.
Excellent.
Absolutely. And anybody can also contact me on the Acts of Kindness series.com website. You can contact us. And I am planning on sending books to the Equus Hotel in September, where Leon and I met with Auntie Renee, the hotel manager there, to get Pono, the Hawaiian Polo Pony, Righteous Acts of Kindness books, some mini puppets to sell for fundraisers to support the schools and to get to use the coloring books, etc. So again, all classroom teachers can receive copies of my books from an organization called DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Marilyn Rogers, a retired special education teacher up there in the Kamaile, Makaha areas where she lives, Leanne. And she requested 50 books and she got funded in 2 weeks. And I went out and book signed and taught the finger spelling alphabet, and we passed out the puppets, talked about ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, climate change. So this is an amazing World of Ability podcast here today with great thought leaders, and hoping Leanne could do a final prayer and blessing as she did for all our ohana in the Hawaiian Islands and everybody worldwide.
Marianne, can you say the name of the woman in Makaha again?
Marilyn Rogers.
Is that Marilyn?
Marilyn is
Ralyn?
Yeah.
And it's Donors Choose.
.org. Yes, I have a testimony from her, and I just I want to hold in prayer her son, is massage therapist, Maui, wife, and a baby, and I know there's 1,000 people missing right now, so I don't want to contact the family out of privacy right now. So I just hold them in prayer. She's an amazing special ed teacher, so we want their family safe in Maui as well as everybody else.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
Pono.
Exactly. And like I said, even if someone can contact Sue and the Disability Network to contact us if they miss, our website, Sue know how to get in contact. Marianne, you know how to get in contact with us. But we, like I said, we'll definitely donate a unit to a school, and we want to donate it to the school because that way the children will learn about clean water. They'll be getting clean water, and to keep them in school. So I know they need that clean water for sure, especially from what I've seen, the devastation there in Maui.
Yes. I'll contact Auntie Renee at the Aquas Hotel and see what she can help us do too, Leon. That's where we met at the Aquas Hotel in Honolulu there. And the books are written there as I spent several months there. And anyway, it's a great opportunity to share the good news with everybody. So I don't know if you, Leanne, if you're ready to hold us in a blessing, a Hawaiian blessing, or your beautiful voice and sound and healing for everybody. Thank you so much. Lawrence Wingate Studios, Transform You Media, World of Ability, everybody joining us today.
Yes.
I think the best thing I can do is just share the miracle prayer so
Please
that,
do.
no, I really feel like that's the best way with the time we have. So the miracle prayer is called the Anabakoach. It's a 2,800-year-old prayer. And this prayer has been shown in anecdotal studies, things that really happen to people in real time, that when you hear this prayer, learn the prayer, memorize the prayer, miracles literally come into this world. So I would like to just, if we can all just imagine a map of Maui and particularly Lahaina, if we can just visualize and send this prayer to that area, I would be very, very grateful. Anabakoach, Gijilaya Mincha, Tatir, Tesara, Kebel Renat, Amcha Sagvanu, Taharai Nunara, Nagibor, Dorshe Yukatika, Kavavat Shamram, Barken Taharam, Rakame Dizikatika, Timid Gamlan, Chasin Gadosh, Barav Tuvka, Nahel Adateka, La Kifke, Lam Chapana, So Grey Gadushateka, Shavatanu Kabel, Ushma, Zaakatanu, Yodea to Alamod, Brukshem, Kovamakuto, Leolam, Bayad. And then I'd like to sing this very briefly to each one of you. So if you can just close your eyes and just receive this. This is a Tibetan prayer that helps really raise the vibration of a soul. It's the Guru Rinpoche mantra. So if you can just take this in, it would really be my honor to share this. Huma hun vaja guru pima siri hun, huma hun vaja guru pima siri hun, huma hun vaja guru pima siri hun, huma hun vaja guru pima siri hun. Uma hun vaja guru pima siri hun, uma hun vaja guru pima siri hun, uma hun vaja guru pima siri hun, uma hun vaja guru pima siri hun. Thank you.
Thank you
That's
so
totally
much,
awesome.
Leanne.
That was amazing. And it's funny
Mahalo.
that she was talking about the Tibetan because the Hopi believe where they're located on the reservation, if you look at the earth and you go through, like if you were to go dig underneath, they end up right in Tibet. So I'm learning that right now. I mean, you could probably Google it, that whole Hopi belief that actually where they're located, if you were to start like drilling underneath to the like ends of the, earth thing, you end up in Tibet. So we'll be talking about that actually at the event. And with Lodo, the guy from Tibet that's connected to the Dalai Lama, who will be performing at our event in Sedona, Arizona. So I'll keep you guys and send pictures and links to that also.
Well,
So
Leon,
Leanne,
yes.
can you tell us how we can locate you and get your CDs and listen to it at our own leisure? How do we contact you? What's your website?
Website is just leannephillips.com, and I'll just write it in the chat. So it's Leanne Phillips, LeighanPhillips.com. And Leon, I just wanted to share with you, since you brought up the connection between the Hopi and the Tibetan people, that this prayer, this mantra is from Padmasambhava, Padma for short. And he predicted in these times exactly that how we would know we were in these higher negatively karmic times would be that rich people would be wearing holes in their jeans on purpose. We would have interesting leadership in these times, and just the earth changes that we're having. And what he recommended to help mitigate and smooth out these shifts was to plant as many trees as possible, because that would give us food, oxygen. Carbon dioxide is actually the gas of life. Reading about the true science of global warming, I would definitely check it out, because we're not being told the whole scene here. So we need carbon dioxide. It's what actually, it does incredible things for the planet. But anyway, plant trees. That's the remedy to help in these times, according to.
That is wonderful. Yeah, and I would like to connect you up with Lodo from Tibet, who's good friends with the Dalai Lama. So if we can also get your email, if Sue can put us all on an email, I can forward that with Lodo. Or I can, if you put it in the chat box, and we can all get together with them, and maybe we can have you come to one of the events and have you as a speaker.
Oh, I would be honored. And you might want to ask Lodo. I have a friend, he's the Thangka painter for the Dalai Lama, Romeo Sestra.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Romeo, but his work is incredible. In fact,
I bet you Lodo is familiar with him.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of his pieces right here. This is the White Tara, if you can see.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So he painted that with, gold leaf, powdered lapis lazuli. This guy is the 17th reincarnation of the original painter for the Dalai Lama.
Wow.
Really an amazing being. Yeah. If you email me.
I would love to have you guys all connected, because like I said, he'll be performing at our event. He's flying in from New York to perform at our event in September, the 16th and 17th in Sedona. He's performed before, when I was telling you about when the kids did the rain dance. Then he played the Tibetan horn, that long horn, and you go, and it was amazing. We actually got it on video. So I would love to connect you up. And like I said, maybe we can have you as a guest speaker and do what you do at our next event that we're going to have in Sedona. I think that would be awesome. Where are you located?
On Oahu, but
okay.
I've actually played with the Dalai Lama monks in Aspen years ago when I was living in Colorado. There's a group that are based at Emory University.
Mm-hmm.
And they would come into Aspen, do the sand paintings, the mandala paintings, and we would do a benefit concert. So I would play bowls and they would chant. So it was, in fact, I'll just share this very briefly. These guys are so magical. So I gave them each an individual sound healing session with just the metal bowls, just 2 metal bowls. And the leader of these monks was lying down, and I had the bowls on, and one of the bowls fell off and went down, and then it went back up.
Wow. Yeah, that's some heavy stuff.
I realized that because they were working on outer enlightenment, and one of the ways somebody has outer enlightenment is they can alter time and space. So I think when the bowl fell down, he just altered it back up. So, and it only happened with him. So
wow.
Anyway, yeah, no, Leanne, it would be.
No,
maybe
I'll definitely connect you up with Lodo. We're probably gonna have you on a show that he's gonna be on called Sedona Spotlight. And they're actually doing channeling, the water thing. I think it would be great. And working together works, and that's what it's all about.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, look, before we all go, I wanted to just share with you, since we're talking about sound, and mandalas are frozen sound, right? Frozen music, actually. That's all a mandala is. I wanted to share this mandala here. This one in particular, I don't know, can you all see this?
Yeah.
So if you can take a screenshot of this, this actually helps heal the organs.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you know somebody that, has kidney issues, or they need to detox their liver, or they have a sweet tooth and need to heal their spleen a bit, all they have to do is look at this and for 10 minutes a day, and it will start to help you heal.
Amazing. Totally amazing.
So mandalas are just frozen music. Everything's music. And if you haven't seen the movie August Rush, I highly recommend that you guys check it out, especially if you have kids, because I think it really shows the power of music in such a loving way.
Where can
We'll definitely
you
check it out.
get that? Is that on YouTube? Is it on Netflix, or
Oh
where can you get
gosh,
that movie?
sweetie, usually I just purchase a movie on Vudu and I have it on VUDU, but I'm sure if you just put in how to stream August Rush, it'll show you. I'm sure it's on something like that, HBO or Netflix or something.
Or Amazon. Yep.
Leon, that's a good idea. Amazon too. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being here, my guests, and connecting and learning about sound vibration and raising awareness. And again, we want to be supporting Maui Strong for Ohana. Prayers of love and light to all the Ohana and all the EMTs and rescuers and doctors, everybody that's working overtime. And we want to support them. Again, if you're listening, Leon McLaughlin wants to donate 2 filters to the schools in Maui. We're looking for connections, how we can get them over there. And I'll be sending books to the Equus Hotel in September for fundraising with Auntie Renee. And anything else that we can do to support Maui, please let us know, or go on Facebook. Jason Momoa, actor, Hawaiian, has fundraising out there. Oprah's over there. She's donated bedding personally out there to the shelters. Well, they've had to create shelters. And Jeff Bezos is donating $100 million. President Biden has said it is a disaster for federal relief. And we just thank everybody, our governors over there in Hawaii, our Hawaiian just family, kahunas, reverends, ministers, everybody's doing their part. And thank you, World of Ability, for having an amazing guests here today. And we can continue this in the future. So Sue Roskoff, I'll give it back to you.
This has been such a pleasure today. I'm so grateful for all of you being here. Leanne, Marianne, Cheryl, Tim, Leon, and Emily, you guys, this has been one for the books. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. So thank you so much for being here. And as always, we are here every Saturday at 2:00 Central, and we look forward to all the wonderful things coming up that you have all been sharing with us. And please keep us posted. We welcome you guys back, and let's stay in touch. And as always, we thank each and every one of you. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sue.